Hey you all, welcome back to Let's Keep It Real. I am back with another video. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about today's events with what happened with Donald Trump, the assassination attempt that was made today. And I wanted to go back down the line in history and kind of go over some of the attempts that have been made that were actually successful with former presidents and then civil rights leaders, and the one that was made against Ronald Reagan that wasn't successful. So, starting out with the assassination of John F. Kennedy on November the 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy, the 35th president of the United States, was assassinated while riding in a presidential motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. Kennedy was in the vehicle with his wife, Jacqueline, Texas Governor John Connally, and Connally's wife Nellie, when he was fatally shot from the nearby Texas School Book Depository by former U.S. Marine Harvey Oswald. And the motorcade rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where Kennedy was pronounced unalive about 30 minutes after the shooting. I wasn't born when that actually happened, but I remember my mother telling me that she was in high school when it came all over the TVs, and everybody was devastated because a lot of people were supporters of John F. Kennedy. The Kennedys were prominent in the White House, meaning that, a lot of the family members held seats, high seats in the White House. And Kennedy was a man that was looked at in that time of, one who cared about the people and he wanted to make great change. So with that being said, people didn't want him to be there to make a great change, meaning that he was going to interfere with the way the government was being ran, and people didn't want that. So that is the main reason why, he was unalive. So keeping in mind and moving on to MLK, Martin Luther King. Well, before I go any further, let me read what it said about the Texas governor, John Connally. Connally was also wounded in the attack but recovered, and later Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was hastily sworn in as president 2 hours and 8 minutes later aboard Air Force One at the Dallas Love Field. So again, guys, like I said, this was a very, very tragic moment in time that happened that affected people across not only the U.S., but across the world. So again, this is not the first time that these things have been attempted on presidents, former presidents, civil rights leader, and it's a sad thing. But I do remember hearing about this story. Again, I wasn't alive at the time, but I do remember hearing the stories that were told to me about how it devastated a nation. That was something that people never got over. Next, moving on to the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. Was an African American clergyman and civil rights movement leader, which was fatally shot at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968 at 6:01 p.m. Central Time. He was rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital, where he passed at 7:05 p.m. He was a prominent leader in the civil rights movement and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate who was known for his use of nonviolence and civil disobedience. So again, this is another situation where a great civil rights leader was unalive, again, because he was wanting and trying to make a change. Now, there's other stories about there about Martin Luther King where you can research yourself, but this assassination was made. It was not an attempt because he did not make it. And I think it's important for, the generations that are coming up now to understand about the history of the individuals that served in different seats throughout history. So moving on to the next person, Ronald Reagan. I don't know if people remember that, but remember Ronald Reagan was too also had an attempt on his life, and the Secret Service men actually jumped in the way and took a shot basically. So let me pull that information up as well. And I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but I definitely do remember that as a child when I did hear about that story. Okay, so the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan on March 30th, 1981. President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, was shot and wounded by John Hinckley Jr. in Washington, D.C. as he was returning to his limousine after a speaking engagement at the Washington Hilton. Hinckley believed the attack would impress actress Jodie Foster. You all remember Jodie Foster, to whom he had developed an eronomatic obsession after viewing her in Martin Sorcer's 1976 film Taxi Driver. So, like I said again, Reagan, there was an attempt made on his life, but he, was fortunate enough to survive that assassination attempt. Reagan, and it shows a picture where Reagan waves just before he was shot from left. And our Jerry Payne in a white trench coat who pushed Ronald Reagan into the limousine. White House Press Secretary James Brady, who was seriously wounded by a gunshot to the head. So, so keep in mind, guys, like I said, these assassination attempts have been going on for decades. And like I said, a lot of young people don't, really understand or know, or they probably haven't even, bothered to even learn the history. But I'm saying all of this to say, I see a lot of comments and videos being put up out there about, what happened today. So let me finish this part about Reagan. Reagan was seriously wounded by a revolver bullet that ricocheted off the side of the presidential limousine and hit him in the left underarm, breaking a rib, puncturing a lung, and causing serious internal bleeding. He was close to being unalive upon arrival at George Washington University Hospital, but was stabilized in the emergency room. He then underwent emergency exploratory surgery. He recovered and was released from the hospital on April the 11th. So I'm saying this all to say, like I said, because I see a lot of people posting things or saying it was, they didn't believe it. They believed it was fake. And, this is not the time to be insensitive. You know what I mean, guys? Whether people believe it was real or not, the insensitivity that I'm seeing across just because you don't like somebody for a political party and other things that I'm sure that people have to say. I just think that people need to be more cognizant of what they let come out of their mouth when it pertains to situations like this. These types of situations are very emotional for people, and I, I just believe people need to keep their mouth shut about things because this is a highly charged emotional moment. And the last thing we need is civil unrest is what I'm trying to say. Does that make any sense to anybody? So be careful on what you say about things all because, you dislike this person for maybe political reasons. Because other than that, do we really know this person or any other candidates that are running per se? Do you know these people personally to know what they stand for? What they tell you, but personally, do you know what they really stand for? To be getting out here or getting on these social sites and giving your thoughts on it. Yes, people can speak, but is it always important to say certain things? No, I don't think so. Like I said, this is a highly charged moment. Emotions are very high, and the last thing that we need to have is civil unrest. What we need to have is peace at this time, okay? Because there's a lot going on, as you can see, and just chill out, that's all. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So let me know what your thoughts are about the three men that I covered and talked about. Do you remember those events? Have you heard about them? Did you ever learn about them in school? All the above. And, just give me your thoughts on, like I said, the comments or statements that people are making. Just give me your thoughts on that. And, pay attention to everything that's going on around you always. Pay attention. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Let's Keep It Real. And I'll be back soon with another video.